What is going on, Rebels, Reblets, and Aribros? If you guys are here from Arizo's channel, you already know that we did a video on what the best starter Pokemon in Johto is.
That's right, Mystic, and if you guys don't want to be spoiled on what the best starter is, then we suggest you go over to my channel to watch that video first. Link is on the screen.
With that being said, today Arizo and I will be taking a look at some Pokemon that could really support Cyndaquil on its journey through Johto, covering a lot of its weaknesses. Keep in mind that this applies to the remakes as well, because the originals essentially are the same games besides a few minor differences. But in all honesty, it doesn't really change the way how Cyndaquil acts as the best starter. As we covered in our video on Arizo's channel, we found some struggles that the Cyndaquil line has to deal with, and it needs a good team to get past these hardships. All of the Pokemon we have compiled together are Pokemon we feel cover Cyndaquil the best. Of course, you guys may not feel that way, so that is why this is 100% our opinion. However, we still think that these Pokemon do the job best. With all that being said though, let's dive right into our Johto journey.
So you just picked up your starter Pokemon Cyndaquil and made your way over to Route 29. You're gonna need a good Pokemon to start you off. What Pokemon couldn't be better for the job than Pidgey? It's one of the best flying types to choose from at this point of the games. It has access to very useful moves like Fly and can just come in handy in various situations. For example, it could be very useful against Chuck's Poliwrath.
Speaking of water types, the next Pokemon on our team is located on Route 32, where we can find one of the cutest electric types around, Mareep. The Mareep line can cover Typhlosion's weakness to water, considering all of the trainers in the World Islands with water typing on the way to sea in what city. And if Pidgeot fails at taking out Chuck's Poliwrath, it can zap its brains out. Not to mention it can take out Price's water and ice types, Seal and Dugong.
That's so stupid, Mystic. And I thought I was cheesy. Wow. Anyways, we are very aware that Mareep is only accessible in Pokemon Gold and Silver. So if you're playing Crystal, the next best option to go with is Bellsprout, which you can catch as early as Route 31. This actually works out well because there's a man on that same route who gives you an item called the Miracle Seed, which, if you didn't know, would power up your grass attacks.
Bellsprout can also be a huge help in taking out those early rock Pokemon that can give Cyndaquil a hard time. Even if you are playing Gold and Silver though, Bellsprout is not really needed because at this point, Cyndaquil can handle these rock Pokemon fairly well, especially if it has evolved into Kolava at this point. So once we make it through the cave, we make our way over to Azalea Town to take on Bugsy. Essentially for Cyndaquil or Kolava, it's a cakewalk.
Now since that gym is over, we can capture our next teammate, Abra. I know what you're thinking though. Alakazam is really hard to get because of trade, and in all honesty, you could still do really well with just a Kadabra. Kadabra still hits really hard and can get access to some great psychic type attacks, one being Psybeam at level 21. Kadabra or Alakazam absolutely destroys Morty because of his ghost types having a dual typing with Ghost and Poison.
At this point, we have talked about a lot of the gyms already, but for this one gym, we have not covered, and that is Whitney and her deadly Miltank.
For this little problem, we found that the best solution to dealing with Whitney's team is trading a Drowsy to get a Machop in the Goldenrod department store. I know a lot of you guys will mention Heracross as another option, but in Generation 2, its move pool is terrible. Like, look at it. It's really bad. This tied along with the fact that it's very difficult to find a Heracross in the wild, it's just easier to catch a Drowsy and trade it. But if you're playing the remakes, then it's highly recommended that you catch it.
So now, we are finally down to our last Pokemon, and we need a water type. There are a lot of water Pokemon out there that are great candidates for this last team spot, but through a lot of thinking, we came to the conclusion that Lapras is the best choice. Now all the water Pokemon have access to Surf, that's a given. What gives Lapras the edge over all the rest is how early it gets access to Ice Beam. Sure, some Pokemon have access to Ice Punch or Icy Wind, but that doesn't take away the fact that Lapras is a dual water and ice typing, giving that Ice Beam the extra power that just makes Lapras amazing in Generation 2. And yes, even the remakes.
Lapras can be found in the Union Cave on Friday nights, which may sound like a hassle, but it's definitely worth the trouble to get. Not to mention, Lapras' ice types can really help out against Claire and Lance's dragon types, especially Claire's Kingdra, which may only do neutral damage, but there's really not much more of a better option. Sure, you can pick up a Dratini at the game corner, but in all honesty, even when it evolves into a Dragonair, it still sucks. I mean, come on, its only dragon type moves are Twister and Dragon Rage, which are awful moves. And on top of that, you're gonna have to wait until level 55 to get a Dragonite, so if you feel like grinding forever to get one, good on you, man. Although, in the remakes, it does get access to better moves like Dragon Rush at level 39, but we still prefer Lapras because we just feel it does a better job.
Well, that pretty much wraps up our Pokemon we feel would be on a perfect Johto team. All of these Pokemon have great moves and can really cover the Cyndaquil line pretty well. If you guys enjoyed this video and would be interested in making this into a series, be sure to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comment section below. I also wanted to thank Orizo for helping me figure out the perfect team for the Cyndaquil line.
Thanks for having me. If you guys want to know why we picked Cyndaquil as the best starter in Johto, be sure to head over to my channel to find out.
With all that being said though, I have been Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more Pokemon content.